Hello, Governor. It's Lindsay from Essential Living. And guys, guess what? Tonight, I'm not crying or emotional. We're going to talk about depressing stuff. In fact, I'm ready to get out of the pity barn and go play in the hay. As you can probably guess from my sunglasses and from my hat, Danville represent. Tonight, we're going to be talking about summertime. Time to sit back and unwind. Hi, Katie. Hi, Margie. All right. So, guys, selecting a safe sunscreen is almost as hard as trying to find a natural deodorant. It's horrible, right? Because you either find a sunscreen that actually works and it leaves you white as shh, or it fries you up like a piece of paleo turkey bacon. All right, so basically every natural brand that I tried fell into one or two of those categories. So I decided I needed to look for a different natural sunscreen brand, and I decided to take you along for the ride. All right, so the Skinny on sunscreen, let's get started. There's two types. There's chemical-based sunscreen and there's mineral-based. Can anyone guess which one I favor? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Yeah, so I prefer the mineral-based because chemical-based is filled with tons and tons of chemicals. All right, so I'm going to give you the top 6 chemicals in a chemical sunscreen that you need to avoid. So if you do decide to use a chemical brand, these are the ingredients that you do not want in there, right? So I'm going to grab my little list. Some of them are really, really hard to pronounce, so bear with me. All right, number 1, vitamin A, otherwise known as retinol palmitate. All right, so vitamin A. Hi, Sarah. Hi, John. All right, so retinol palmitate, vitamin A, you think that's good for you, right? Wrong, because it's a vitamin, right? No, when it sits on your skin and then interacts with the sun, it causes carcinogen. So vitamin A, retinol palmitate, out. All right, number 2, oxybenzone. Oxybenzone is actually one of the worst offenders here because it's linked to everything from skin allergies to hormone disruption to cancer. Now, bear with me, guys. I'm not going to start getting into a really depressing conversation about the ozone layer and horrible acts against humanity, like people wearing shoes in my house and using my decorative towels. That's for another evening. Promise you, we're just going to keep it real clean, real simple tonight, and really easy. All right, so vitamin A, oxybenzone, octinoxate. Octinoxate's the 3rd ingredient you want to avoid. 4th is homosalate. 5th is octisalate. And 6th is octicrylene. All right, so I know I went through those pretty fast, and that, again, they're very hard to pronounce. So if you want to see the full list and see everything right in front of you, go read my article. Shameless plug. All right, so those are the 6 ingredients to avoid. Second, if you're still having questions about whether your sunscreen is safe and want to find a better brand, go to the EWG. That's the Environmental Working Group. You can go on their website, or you can download their app. Their app is called, why am I blanking on this? It's called EWG or... Oh my gosh, we'll get to it. And I use it all the time. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. But there's an app that goes along with it. And what you do is you put your product into the app, and up pops a rating system. It's 1 through 10. So if your product's a 1 through 4, then that's pretty good. We'll keep it around. If your product's a 5 through 10, knock it out. All right, so I highly recommend this EWG and this app, Skin Deep. I figured it out. Okay, Skin Deep. Go on the Skin Deep app. It's amazing. It's convenient. It's well researched, and it's super easy. You actually can find me most days in Target. I'm sitting there hunched over my phone. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. I'm actually on the Skin Deep app, and I'm looking up the health of my products. It's amazing. And then I end up leaving Target with 175 things that I didn't know that I needed, but I clearly did. All right, so chemical-based sunscreen. We got the 6 chemicals that you want to avoid. We got the EWG going. Third, guys, don't use the spray sunscreens. Like, seriously, if you want to be friends with me and you ever want to hang out with me again in any type of warm weather, do not use the spray sunscreens. I mean, nothing can turn my frown upside down or pretty much ruin my day when I'm sitting there chilling on the beach, watching my kids try to drown each other, my toddler swinging off my arm, and there's this obnoxious, overzealous spray sunscreen sprayer, and all the spray sunscreen goes right in my face along with the chemicals. I can't stand it. And it pretty much smells like lawn fertilizer. It's not good for you. So we know that it's loaded with chemicals. Also, besides my own personal bias against the use of these spray sunscreens, the FDA and Consumer Reports agrees with me. They have actually issued warnings telling people not to inhale the sunscreen. So let me get this straight. You're supposed to spray your sunscreen into the air and actually hold your nose, wait till it lays on your skin, and try to not inhale it. So in my opinion, I think whether you actually inhale the sunscreen or not, just putting on your skin is not good for you either, because the skin is our largest organ. And everything that puts on our skin gets into us internally. So no on the spray sunscreens. The last thing I want to mention about that is people have actually been using the spray sunscreens next to an open flame, which, you know, when I first thought about it, I was like, why would you use this next to an open flame? But think about it. There's barbecues going, there's people smoking. I don't know, I guess there's people that still smoke cigarettes these days. And people are actually getting second and third degree burns. So, like I said, you ever want to be friends again? You ever want to hang out with me again? All right, so let's get to happier things. We talked about chemical-based sunscreen. Now we want to go over to mineral-based. Now, mineral-based sunscreen uses titanium and zinc oxide. And basically what it does is it sits on the skin and provides a layer between your skin and the sun. All right, mineral-based sunscreens are inherently more healthy than chemical-based, but not always. There are exceptions. So, how do you decide whether your mineral-based sunscreen is healthy? Well, it shouldn't contain the 6 ingredients that I talked about. If you missed them, you can go back to this video and check them out. I really want to repeat them, but they're really hard for me to pronounce. So go back in this video or go to my article and read it. But you want to make sure that it does not contain the 6 yucky ingredients that we talked about. Second, you want it to have non-nanoparticles. Now, what are non-nanoparticles? The quick answer to that is I really don't know. As we've discussed before, I'm not a science person. I'm a writer. I'm a reader. I'm into history, okay? The science is not my jam. But I can tell you the reason why you want non-nanoparticles in your sunscreen is because it actually sits on the top layer of your skin and doesn't sink in. All right, so it doesn't get into your skin and into your internal organs. And nanoparticles do. So now that you have your mineral-based, non-nanoparticle sunscreen, I'm going to give you my top 5 tips for staying safe this summer. The first tip, put on your sunscreen naked. It's Nudie Magazine Day, everyone! Literally strip down naked in your bathroom, or if you're really feeling yourself, go out on your porch and just let it roll. Put it on naked. Why? Well, because it allows you to get all of those spots, those really sweet spots, like right here, and even kind of right here, that you can't really reach when you have a bathing suit on. So I learned a long time ago, once I was actually burnt in those sweet spots. And if you've ever been burned in those spots, you know there's nothing sweet about it. It's horrible. So put it on naked and actually let it sit on your skin for 20 minutes before going outside. Now, a lot of people say 20 minutes, I don't have 20 minutes. Well, you do have 20 minutes if you don't want to end up looking like Snooki from the Jersey Shore at the next barbecue, right? So for those 20 minutes, you hang out, you watch your toddler walk across the floor with a maxi pad stuck to his hand. Yes, that's completely hypothetical. That never happened. You can sing the national anthem. You'll be better than Mariah Carey, that's for darn sure. Do whatever you need to do. Just wait 20 minutes before you go in the sun. I promise you, it'll be night and day. Hi, Chels. Hi, Matt. All right. So you put on your sunscreen naked. You waited 20 minutes. 3, you need to reapply, especially if you're going to use a more natural brand, which tends to wash off. Chemical-based sunscreens stick to your skin and stay longer. I pretty much think they probably stay on your skin to your 85, which is not a good thing. But natural brands tend to wash off. So what you want to do with those is reapply every 2 hours. Now, if you're going to David Hasselhoff it at the beach this summer and you're going to save damsels in distress with really big boobs, then you need to reapply your sunscreen every hour. I've learned the hard way this, especially with myself and my kids. I let them go over an hour without reining them in and spraying them down. I do not spray them. I do not use spray sunscreen, I promise. I lather them up and down every hour now, and it has changed everything. All right, so you reapply every hour. Also, if you do get burnt, because Lord knows you have days where you don't follow my rules, that's okay. I still forgive you. And you have probably little kids in your family that don't. And the worst offenders are husbands, I'm convinced. Husbands cannot put on sunscreen correctly. I don't know what it is. But if you happen to get burnt, use an after sun lotion that does not have alcohol. Alcohol just dries out the skin and makes everything that much worse. Because I love you, strictly for your personality, I gave you the best recipe for my DIY Sun Soothing Lotion. It is for burn lotion. It is incredible. I use essential oils. I use a bunch of different ingredients. It's super easy to make, and I have yet to find anything on the market that even compares to this. This thing is the bomb, all right? So I left the recipe for you. Go check it out in my article. And just to tell you how effective it is, talking about husbands, my husband is, I like to call him the reluctant hippie. He doesn't like to do any of this natural stuff, not even to please me. He just hates all of it. But Mr. Sunburnt last night came in with his face bright red and was like, do you have anything for my sunburn? I was like, oh yeah, here, I do. And I made it myself. He had put this stuff on, and in the morning, sunburn was better, but in the morning at like 5:30, it was still dark. He was like, where's the lotion? Where'd you put the lotion? Okay, so that should be like a true testament to how great this stuff is. All right, so last sun safety tip is get that vitamin D. Now, there's quite a conundrum here, because if we stay out in the sun too long, our chances of skin cancer shoot up. And if we don't get enough sun, we risk a vitamin D deficiency, which can cause things like fatigue and muscle aches and a bunch of other issues. And we have a vitamin D deficiency epidemic in this country. People are lathering up with sunscreen and they're not getting enough natural rays. So how do I solve this? Well, a couple times a week, my kids and I go out in the sun unprotected for like 10 minutes. I try to go like in the mornings or in the late afternoons. And I never, ever, ever leave my house without putting sunscreen on my face. Like ever. And I always have a hat, because you just don't want sun on your face. You don't want to look like Magda from There's Something About Mary when you're 80. It's just not cool, right? So that's how I solve that conundrum. I go out in the sun for, 10 to 20 minutes a week, if not more, without sunscreen. And the rest of the time, I wear that sunscreen with pride. Yes, I do. All right. So I think that's it. I have one more thing to say. If you have not gone to my site and signed up for my newsletter, please do, because I just created a little freebie for you that when you sign up, you will get my top 5 health hacks. We're all busy. In fact, we're all busy as shit when it comes down to it, right? We have kids. If you don't have kids, you have a full-time job. If you don't have a full-time job, you're just really busy. We're all busy. So I created a guide for my top 5 tips to stay healthy while busy. And this will get you going. And they're simple, easy, cheap, and I probably spent a lot more time talking about it than it's going to take you to actually implement some of these strategies. So that's it for tonight. Sorry, I was a little tongue-tied. I'm a little out of practice for the last couple weeks, but I hope to see you soon, especially next week. I'm going to let you take a little peek-see into my beach bag, where I have some of the top natural summer products that you're going to want in your beach bag as well. So stay tuned for that. It was great seeing you again, and it's just so nice to be smiling and not crying. Hi, Marjorie. Hi, Jen. All right. Love all of you, and have a great week, and make sure that you put on that sunscreen, that non-nano mineral-based sunscreen, and no spray. Hi, Chels. All right. Hi, Megan. Hi, Carla. Oh, I'm just having all these friends. All right. So, like I said, I'll see you next week. Before I start rambling about something else and embarrassing myself, I'm going to go. Okay. Bye.